Throughout the Big 12, academics and STEM education are preparing students for the future. In Morgantown at West Virginia University, their commitment to athletics and academics is evident. We spoke to some of the brightest minds on campus, including President Gordon Gee.
Our goal is not to make every single student a pulsar astronomer. We know that's not going to happen, but I think it's just so critically important that everyone is exposed to STEM in some way, and they develop just basic critical thinking skills so they can read the news and understand what's true and what's not true and how to apply it to their own life.
Obviously, we're very involved in engineering and science, mathematics in a number of different ways, working with the public schools, having a great emphasis on that within our own curricular structure. But, you know, I like to make a point about the fact that I don't believe in STEM, I believe in STEAM. I also want to point out that the arts and the humanities are very much an important part of this concept of creating the educated person.
Dr. Mara McLaughlin engages students in STEM education by combining physics and astronomy.
So my work sort of bridges astronomy and also physics, because we're doing some, fundamental physics experiments using these astronomical objects as tools, really. We observe with radio telescopes, the Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia and the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico are the two telescopes that we're using for this experiment. So we're observing these pulsars with radio telescopes and measuring the times of arrival of their pulses to nanosecond precision. And it's a very exciting project because we're sort of just on the brink of when we expect to make a discovery. So the area around Green Bank is actually a regulated radio quiet zone where radio transmissions are prohibited, and they're very vigilant about driving around and making sure that there's not any unallowed radio signals.
The culture at West Virginia is to provide opportunities for their student athletes to enable them to showcase not only their athletic side, but also their academic side.
We've tried to create a culture here where all of our student athletes understand the importance of academics, understand the opportunity that's provided to them with a scholarship. To me, it's one of the great things of American life that you can be a great football, basketball, soccer, whatever player, swimmer, diver, wrestler, and have a chance to go to school at no cost.
I believe strongly in intercollegiate athletics. I'm a great fan of intercollegiate athletics, but at the same time, the reason I'm a fan is the fact that it's very talented students having an opportunity to show their talent in a way in which they are still students. In the end, that they do remain fully committed to the life of being a student at West Virginia University.
There's a lot of commonality in this conference. Athletics is very important at this conference, and not just men's athletics, but women's athletics. Our women's programs have really, I think, been energized by this conference.
WVU takes pride in preparing its students for meaningful careers.
What we want our students to do is take rigorous academic coursework to graduate with a degree after 4 or 5 years. Maybe they can play a professional sport, great, we'd love to see it, but the vast majority don't, and we want them to be prepared just like any other student as they walk across the stage at graduation to enter the workforce and begin creating a meaningful career. That's very important.
You know, from Texas through this great heartland of this country to West Virginia is a long stretch in miles, but it's not a long stretch in terms of capacity to be able to influence people and to be able to be part of a conference that really does have tremendous institutions as part of its portfolio.
In Morgantown, Kristen Keith, Big 12 Digital Network.